Hello, one and all, and welcome to another video on the Baggers Chat YouTube channel. My name is Mitch Pattinson, and as always, we are joined by Ethan Duffy. And today, we have a bit of news about some more news about the 2026 the fixture from a Carlton point of view, and the gather round has officially been released, and we will be playing the Adelaide Crows on the 9th of April at the Adelaide Oval to start. Gather round, Duffy Boy. I know that we both have spoken about it a fair few times prior to this video, and we thought we would come on here and do a quick recap about our thoughts, if we think it's probably fair or unfair, knowing that we finished 12th on the ladder and Adelaide were bloody minor premiers, and what do you know, we're playing Adelaide kick-off gather round at their home ground, which is a bit interesting to start us off, Duffy Boy. But I'll throw straight to you, mate. How are you since the last time we spoke, and just your thoughts ahead of this? What probably could be a good gather round, but also from a Carlton point of view, playing against Adelaide is quite interesting.
Yeah, well, my first reaction when I saw, obviously there was an article this morning before it all came out that about the two games. Obviously, Porter playing Saints on the last one, and we're playing the Crows on the first one. And the first time I saw it, it was a bit like, oh fuck, like that's a tough fixture. And I know a lot of people are talking about it. We've spoken about it. It's a little bit of it. Like my initial thought, like it's just a bit like there's other teams. Like there's other teams. Like I'm not here having a sook about it. Obviously, I'm going to be there, and I'm not going to be sooking when the game comes around. But it's like there's other teams, Pato. Like if they're so up and about opening round and getting footy in every state and getting every interstate team a prime time go, I think this would have been a perfect opportunity to give a team like a Brisbane or even a Gold Coast to have a prime time Thursday night game, because obviously their quality. Like I just think anyone with Adelaide is going to fill the stadium. And I think most games at gather round fill up anyway. So I don't think, I think maybe except for the last game, which is Saints Port, which is an interesting fixture as well for me. I know like they're probably banking on the Saints to start the season really well, but yeah, my initial thoughts were it's just a bit weird. It was just a bit of a weird selection. We've already done it. I know you've brought up before we recorded that maybe they're trying to get us to play them every time, but then I also look at that and I go, well, that would just be a little bit shit if that was the case. I don't think it is the case. I just think they're just going, well, we've already gone. Here's Sydney and Sydney, Pato. So fuck it. Let's just give him Adelaide and Adelaide after coming 12th on the ladder. I'm not expecting we're going to get the easiest fixture of all time. I'm not saying that. I think we're better than 12th. But, it's a very interesting fixture.
I reckon it's bullshit from a Carlton point of view, because as you said, I think as soon as the opening round fixture came out and we got Sydney at the SCG to start the season, I think probably normal people would have thought, okay, we'll come gather round when it comes out a few days later. We probably will get an easier draw. We won't get Adelaide is the worst team to play in this gather round. You're like, I would rather play Port Adelaide than Adelaide, and there's not another team in the gather round that I would rather play against. Like Adelaide is the biggest threat. Like they're by far, they're probably one of the best teams in the competition, but also they're playing at their home ground. So I think it is quite an interesting sort of choice from the AFL to put Carlton against Adelaide, and that's why we were kind of saying about it earlier about I potentially think that it could be because this could be like a marquee match, knowing that Carlton is one of the biggest clubs, and if you put this as a marquee match against Adelaide to start the gather round every single year, maybe that's something that they're trying to do. But as you said, I don't really know if I want that. I know that we probably do have an easier start to the year, knowing that we play Richmond round one, so that's kind of locked in. And I don't know if they're trying to get us to play Adelaide gather round every year and then maybe opening round, but either way, we're playing Sydney to start the opening round, like to start the season. Then we're playing Adelaide a few weeks later in gather round. It's just, I don't really understand it. So I guess we'll kind of like dive into it, Duffy Boy, and like about I mean, I'll go through the rest of the fixture. So it's Collingwood
Yep.
v Fremantle, which is the next game on the Friday night. North Melbourne v Brisbane Lions, which we've already spoken about. Very interesting to see that game as well. And Brisbane Lions, once again, the AFL have the Brisbane Lions backing, Daffy Boy. Essendon v Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. Sydney versus Gold Coast. Hawthorn v Western Bulldogs, Adelaide Oval. Geelong v West Coast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
GWS Richmond. Well, that's another pretty easy game. And then Port Adelaide, St Kilda, as you've already said, to kind of complete the gather round. But like just hearing some of those names, like not even from a Carlton point of view, from like Brisbane playing North Melbourne, GWS playing Richmond, and then like you've got like West Coast versus Geelong. GWS, Geelong, and Brisbane Lions are probably three of the premier clubs in the competition, and they probably have three of the, all due respect, probably the worst sides in the competition for gather round, knowing that you probably, when you're playing gather round, you probably should be putting these better teams up against the better opponents. And I know that you're probably going to say that right here, right now. So I'll throw it straight to you. Like, what's your thoughts on the whole fixture, like as a whole gather round fixture? Like, what's your thoughts?
I think there's a lot of good games. I think there's a lot of good games, but like you said, I think, like, even from a Brisbane perspective, if I was a Brisbane supporter and you wanted to motivate people to go over to Adelaide for this gather round, I wouldn't want to be playing North Melbourne. That's no disrespect. I think it's both ways. North would be going, oh, fuck, I don't want to fly over. We're going to get slaughtered. And then Brisbane would go over. We're going to win by fucking 100. So it's like you said, wouldn't you want to put a Brisbane against an Adelaide, or even Port Adelaide versus Brisbane or something like that, where it's a little bit more even. It doesn't have to be, fucking first versus second, third versus fourth, but just somewhat even. I'd say Melbourne versus Essendon is somewhat even. I'd say even-ish. I don't know how Melbourne's going to look. Essendon look like they might struggle. I don't know, but I feel like that's more of an even game. So, yeah, it's interesting. There must be a reason. They don't tend to really release the reasoning for a lot of the stuff they do, the AFL at the moment. I think a lot of it's money. I think us playing the Thursday night's money, to be honest. So I think, you talk about, I think it's a big TV thing too. Carlton are playing on the Thursday night, more eyes on the TV. The television, Channel 7, Fox Footy, people like that will be asking for teams like Carlton to play against Adelaide. Yep. No doubt in my mind, Pato. Same as opening round. It's not even about probably the people in the seats most of the time. They probably know that the stadium's going to be filled anyway for most of these games in gather round. They're probably thinking, let's get more people watching. Fuck it, let's get Carlton on the Thursday night. Let's get all the Carlton nuffies on a Thursday night to watch this game. Whereas maybe if it was Brisbane, there's less eyes, even though they're the back-to-back premiers. But then I also think, as a football supporter, I'm sure you are the same, we want the best games.
Yeah.
I want to sit down. I'm not going to sit down and watch Giants Richmond. I probably still will, knowing I'm a footy nuffy. But it's a game where it's like, well, the Giants, I still think there's a bit of question marks around them for next year in terms of their age demographic. They'll still be a good team. But, yeah, it's just a bit, and the big one for me was that North Brisbane one, because I think it's a lose-lose for both teams. Because what else are Brisbane supposed to do? They've won 2 flags, Pato.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of footy fans suck about us playing on Thursday nights. It's like, we don't want to play on the fucking Thursday night. I want a nice, chill Saturday Arvo game against fucking Gold Coast if it's need be. But, yeah, and also Collingwood sucked about, and I hate bringing them up on our episodes. I think we have to, because a lot of people talk about them as a Carlton supporter. They're a little bit rent-free in our heads, same for them and us. So they asked for no opening round game. They get an opening round game at the G.
At the G.
They're fine with that, though. They're all good with that. And then they get Freo in the gather round, which I'm not saying Freo an easy game. I think Freo will be better than Collingwood, but it's more about they don't get an Adelaide team and they play at home for opening round as an away game. And we get Sydney away and Adelaide away. Like you said, probably the least... The game you want the least, I'd say, to be honest. So I don't want to start sooking. I know Pies fans will probably be watching going, this dickhead's having a sook, but it's a little bit like, I don't know. But when it comes around, Pato, we'll be excited and we'll be tipping us against the Crows. Yeah,
well, don't you worry. When it comes gather round and we're 7-0, Daft Boy, don't you worry. We'll be celebrating at the gather round. So I don't think
at least it gives us a few weeks. At least it gives us a few weeks to get ready for that match and see if we are good or are we shit. So it's not like it's opening round. I know opening round's a tough game as well. I'm not saying the Swans aren't. But I think obviously Adelaide, based off their form last year, at least it gives us a few weeks. And I think as a football club, we want to be playing in these games. And I think as a supporter base, we're a little bit on edge because we've had we're a bit hot and cold in these types of games, I think, over our lifetime. Let's be real. So we're always a little bit standoffish. As a football club, if we want to be taking the next step, and the way our head of footy are leading, and our CEO are talking, and our coaches talking, and our players are talking, we want to be winning these games. So bring the challenge on and win these fucking games, because that's the only way we can go. If we want to be better as a football club, or if we want to stay the same and lose these games and just go, oh yeah, we'll just tick that off, we'll lose by 40, like a lot of people are saying in the comments of posts, and I don't blame them, because as a football club, we've failed at these challenges. So it's time let's turn that and turn it in our favour. Beat these teams. Look at Geelong. I know they've got West Coast, but they win these games. They won against Adelaide last year in Gather Round when they were down 4 goals.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Sorry, go.
They take the challenge. Geelong. They wouldn't have minded Adelaide. They don't talk about it as a football club. They just rock up and play. They're playing Gold Coast and Gold Coast opening round. They'll give them a challenge. That's the difference, isn't it? It's a mentality. It's literally all it is. Our players and our supporters need to go into these games going, we can win this game.
See, I don't think we've beaten Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, have we?
No. We've beaten Port.
Yet, but we haven't beaten Adelaide. So that's another one where it's like,
well,
heading into 2026, hopefully we get the win against Sydney and we're heading into Gather Round. What round is Gather Round? It's 5?
Well, it's 5 or 6 around there,
We might be, if we had the early buy, I'm not too sure. We probably will, but I mean, we definitely will because we're playing opening round. But we might be, say, 3-1 or 2-2. But hopefully, heading into round 5, we have a good record, and maybe our only loss might be to, I don't know, if we play at Brisbane or Collingwood early. I'm not too sure. But even if we're heading into that game and we're 4-0, and we haven't really had a genuine challenge, because realistically our starts of the year should be relatively easy because we finished 12th on the ladder, and this could be our first genuine test. I know that a test would be against Sydney, but we don't know how they'll actually look heading into next year as well, because they were the same as us. Like, they weren't much better than us this year as well, so they've got their own problems. But heading into this game, like the pressure, as you said, might be like, most of the time we haven't really lived up to the expectation, and we haven't really handled the pressure well, and we've actually just crumbled. But hopefully heading into 2026, this is one of the games that, if we really want to be the real deal, either take it up to Adelaide and really play a good brand of football, or if not, get the fucking job done. Like, I don't want a 60-point thumping. I want a genuine brand of football that you and I and every single current supporter can be happy about. And back to I completely agree about the AFL are wanting this to be about money. They are looking at the gather round, the draws. They want it to be about money. That's what I don't understand, because last year Carlton played West Coast at Adelaide Oval, and we filled the stadium not within minutes. So it's like, that to me doesn't make sense, because we all know that Carlton can play at Adelaide Oval and fill the stadium. Same as Collingwood, same as probably, I mean, obviously Adelaide and Port Adelaide are those teams as well. Maybe Geelong to an extent. Essendon as well is another club if their members are back on board, Duffy boy.
Jesus Christ.
Another swipe at the Did you hear as well about actually there's been a few things happening since our last video about the wild card round as well. But did you hear about how Andrew Dillon spoke about if Essendon win the wild card round, that's counted as a final?
Let's get on the wild card round while we're at it. Fuck it. Let's get on the wild card round.
Yep.
I like the idea,
I do,
but the AFL names stuff wrong. right? It's in the NBA, right? I watch a bit of NBA and they have the play-in, which is a wild card. So they have, whatever, 7th versus 8th, whatever.
Yeah.
They call it a play-in. It ain't a
Yep.
playoff. It ain't a playoff game, which is a final over there. So all they needed to do, just get rid of the finals. It's not called a final. It's a wild card. You're not in the finals yet. You're playing to get into the finals.
Yep.
That should not count as a win in a finals. And they fucked that up. They somehow stuffed that up as well, Pato. Like, it's crazy. Like, a 10th team, like, if we come 10th and win, that doesn't count as a final for me.
No.
It'd be great. It'd be great when we beat St Kilda when they come 7th and we come 10th. But it shouldn't count as a finals win. It just should be, you're in the finals now. You've made it now. But yeah, everyone's going to be angry about it. But when it comes around, watch at the end of the year and everyone will be fucking raving on about it.
Yeah.
Trust me. There'll be more games at the end of the year that actually give a shit.
Yeah.
We could have had a chance this year at coming 10th. And I know, like, when this season, I think, is a bad example because there was so many bad teams.
Yeah.
But when there's more good teams, there's teams who've come 10th and missed by a game.
Yeah.
The finals before. Imagine when that's the case. So you'll be pushing for 10th. When you're 11th and you've got 4 games to go, you can still mathematically make it. So, and I think it'll be better when Tassie come in. There's 19 teams, and I'd like to know your thoughts. But yeah, I just think they've stuffed up the name of it. It shouldn't be wildcard finals. It shouldn't be considered a final. It should just be a play-in to get in.
Well, when I first saw the news break, I was like, oh, well, that means that it's the exact same analogy as the NBA where I went to a play-in final a few years ago in America to watch Miami Heat. I think it was Miami Heat versus Chicago Bulls. And the winner goes into the playoffs. So I think of it more as like, and I know this isn't really similar, but it kind of has the same concept. It's qualification in tennis. If you're qualifying for the Australian Open main draw, you're qualifying to get into the main draw. And I'm not saying the main draw is the final, but it kind of is like if you're a qualifier, you're qualifying for the main draw. I think this would have been better if it was a wild card qualifiers or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or final series qualifying. I don't fucking know. I'm not. That's why I'm not the CEO of the AFL at that point. But I just think I completely agree. I think when the press conference came out, I think the way that they actually, the media release was like, kind of made sense to me. But the press conference was like, wait, what? So if Essendon win a wild card round, that counts as a final? No, it fucking doesn't. You just probably want Essendon streak there. It just doesn't make sense.
It may as well just be a top 10. It may as well just be a top 10 if that's the case.
And that's that's what a lot of people aren't a huge fan of, because it's like, well, now it's been top 8. That's why the AFL has been so authentic, because it's been the top 8. Best 8 teams in the competition make finals. But now it's like, oh, well, now you push it out to 10 and you're giving like 7 and 8 a bit of a like a chance to not make finals, which I probably understand.
I don't mind
it. Should be, I mean, I don't mind it, but as you said, it's the way that they have kind of spoken about it is like it just isn't what we kind of were all expecting. And I don't know if they need to have a correction, and Andrew Dillon just didn't really speak about it the way that he probably wanted to. I don't know. But I just think heading into next year, I think there will be a lot more clarity around it heading into the wildcard round. But let's just hope, Daffy boy, we're first on the ladder and we don't have to fucking worry about it. And Collingwood are down near the 9th or 10th position and they're playing for a wildcard position. But yeah, like once again, just like one more sort of thought on this before we probably wrap up this video, Daffy boy. It's just like, I think heading into next year's gather round, 2027, the year after, 2027 gather round. I think what they should be doing is what we've spoken about already off the video is even games across the whole board. I don't mind if it's like, I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, sorry, if you're playing West Coast v Geelong, I think that would be more even if it was West Coast and Geelong at Optus Stadium. So it's like, obviously, if you're playing, if Adelaide is shit next year, maybe you play at Adelaide v Geelong, a better side. So a shitter side gets the home ground advantage. But like Port Adelaide are playing St Kilda. Like, I know that probably St Kilda is expected to be better. They probably hope that they're fucking better. But
it works.
Yeah, but then I'm looking at GWS Richmond. That doesn't really make sense. North Melbourne, Brisbane. Yeah, I just think that's probably enough for kind of the fixture. But before, actually, I do have one more thing before we before we wrap up this video. But is there anything else you would like to touch on this kind of whole gather round scenario?
We're all going to have our sook about it, I think, for the next couple of days. But when it comes around, I think we'll be okay about it. And but yeah, no, I agree. I think you got to find a way to get more even games. The Giants should be playing Geelong, and West Coast should be playing. Giants are playing Richmond, so just West Coast, Richmond, even. Exactly. You want because I'll be going next year. I want to be going to as many games as possible where I'm sitting there going, I don't know who's going to win.
Yep.
I'd go watch the two bottom teams play. You know what I mean? Like you want to kind of invite neutrals who are in Adelaide to go. You're not going to go to. Oh, I'm not going to fucking Giants Richmond. You wouldn't see me fucking dead there, Pato. To be honest with you, it gives a rat's ass. Giants will win by fucking 8 goals unless Richmond have a massive improvement or it's a massive upset, which you hope it is. But yeah, it's interesting times, and obviously the fixture comes out tomorrow, so we'll obviously touch on that and the big games for that, and the different games will circle. I'm sure there's a few games will circle this year, so it's exciting. I always like the fixture release, and then you always start doing your record. Who are we going to beat there, and who are we going to beat there, and you end up losing to them. So that's the typical cycle of a Carlton supporter. Fixture release, thinking you're going to win every game. Round one comes around, lose to Richmond, and then you just suck for the rest of the year, and then you get to about August, think about trade period, bring a few guys in through trade period, watch their highlights, watch their interviews, get excited on a video like this, Pato, get each other excited, and then the whole cycle starts again.
It's a cycle. It's literally a cycle. And I know this is probably off kind of track, but I just want to mention as well. I had to pay my bloody membership a few weeks ago, Fuck me, it's expensive. And I'm really thinking, do I really love this club enough that I'm going to pay? I mean, I don't really want to say how much I fucking paid. It was fucking so much money. But I'm like, do I really want to pay this stuff? Or do I really want to pay this? But I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. We just got to head into 2026 with another fucking cycle. Heading into round one against Richmond. Jagger Smith's looking good. Campbell Chess is looking good. Harry Dean looks like that third defender to complete the back line. And we lose to Richmond, and we see Seth Campbell and Steel Green fucking backflipping.
It can't happen. It can't happen again.
It definitely can't happen.
It can't happen
again. Actually, one more thing as well. The last game, Port Adelaide St Kilda, I just can't wait to go to that game to just speak to Tom Nicotti and Jack Savani from more of a personal point of view, Daffy Boy, and just say, Harry Mackay kicked 24 goals against Max Michaelani. I don't even know why I said Max Michaelani. Who's Adelaide's key defender? Markeen.
There's
another one.
Worrell.
Worrell. Yeah. So I just can't wait for Harry Mackay to kick 24 on Harry Worrell at that point. But one more thing. 1 to 4 year players return to training on Monday. So, and also for the people who are available on Friday, there is an open training this Friday. So make sure to get down if you are available to see the first training with obviously Campbell Chesser, Liam Reedy, Will Hayward and Ollie Foran probably won't be there. And also Ben Ainsworth probably won't be there. But there are a few senior players that will be training, which is good to see. But before we wrap up the video, David Boyd, just a quick word on the 1 to 4 year players before we head towards the open training this Friday.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to see the boys in action, I guess. As a nuffy, you always want to see who's tearing down the track. And, we'll be doing plenty of videos for trainings and stuff for people who miss out. And if there's anyone that is attending, we will be there. So if you see our noggins walking around Icon Park, that is definitely us. It's not they aren't doppelgangers at the training, so it'll be us. So just say good day, and we'll have it. It's always we love talking about Carlton. I'm sure everyone knows that we love talking about Carlton because we hop on a video on a Wednesday arvo talking about bloody gather round. So we if you see us, come say good day, and hopefully it's a nice little morning at Icon.
Yeah. Well said, as always, everyone. But to every single blue bagger out there, as Duff just said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because there is plenty of content coming away, whether it's draft, which is obviously the 19th of November?
I think so. Even could be the 17th, I think. Monday.
Fuck, yes, that's soon. Yeah, so that's obviously because I think it usually is the Monday. So
Yep.
If that's the 17th, that will be a good sort of recap to see who we actually draft and how many players we draft as well.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll speak about that more at the opening training, and if we have time to do a video as well, we'll definitely speak about that. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel, but also get around our socials so you don't miss a single thing. Deaf Boy's pointing out the monogram right here, right now on his
the raised monogram.
The raised monogram. Hey, I love what you did there, Dave Boy, because it actually is raised as well on that.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it is too.
To you, Duffy Boy, and to every single blue bagger out there.
Baggers.